and satisfied customers and counting, so call now. 1-800-932-8888. That's 1-800-932-8888.
Undercover investigation of telemarketing on the next Current Affair.
In the Middle West, floodwaters continue to rise as 3 more states are declared disaster areas. In South Korea, President Clinton warns North Korea against building nuclear weapons. This is NBC Nightly News, reported by Garrett Utley. Good evening. Yes, it rained again today in parts of the Mississippi Valley, rained heavily indeed. More farm fields were flooded and also more communities. And that is not the end of it, unfortunately. Floodwaters continue to rise in many areas. Today, the government declared parts of 3 more states disaster areas, Illinois, Iowa, and Missouri. They are in addition to Wisconsin and Minnesota, which are already eligible for federal assistance. The death toll now stands at 16, the damage estimate more than $1 billion. Here's Kenley Jones.
The Mississippi River has spread literally miles from its banks, engulfing farmland and homes alike. Broken levees have taken some of the pressure off those farther downstream, but where breaks have occurred, flooding is worse. As the water keeps rising, more and more communities are becoming isolated. The only way to get to some of them is by boat. Mosier, Illinois is one of them. The Great River Road that runs through town is now just that. About 65 people live here. Some have been flooded out, along with tens of thousands of others along the river. But some here, like Claude Shireman and his wife Audrey, are sticking it out. Guess you won't be getting out to go to church tomorrow.
Oh, no. I missed it last week, so I guess I'll have to miss it this week.
Elma Martin and her daughter are still here. Elma's car is up on blocks in the garage. She used to have a boat.
I sold it, I don't know, about 2 months ago.
Well, that wasn't very good planning, was it?
No, it wasn't.
People here are depending on boats for everything. Jerry Jones has 2 of them.
I'm just a person that helps out people, and, we got a flood. My neighbors use my boat. I use my boat. We ferry in food from the Red Cross. We bring it up through town and distribute it. And, it's just a helpful thing to do in a flood.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing? 80-year-old Mary Fox has lived on the river for 50 years. She's not going anywhere. Floods don't scare her. You're not worried about having to evacuate, are you?
Not really. I've slept with water under my bed several times.
I've seen the water up, but nothing like what it is right now, no.
Doug Angel's house is on high ground. He's been using his boat as a ferry.
That's pretty much the way people is in this area. You try to help out your neighbors as much as you possibly can,
The river may be rising, but it has not dampened spirits here. Kenley Jones, NBC News, Mosier, Illinois.
One area of the country where people would like to have spirits dampened and cooled is along the East Coast. It is more than a heat wave which continues. It is a stifling blanket of heat. In Cape May, New Jersey, police said today the hot sand was dangerous to walk on. In Westminster, Massachusetts, when lightning knocked out the ventilation system at Bill Mason's chicken farm, 20,000 chickens died. Along the Atlantic coast from Georgia to New England, temperatures were at or near triple digits. Today, you couldn't find relief even in Maine. Here's Tom Pettit.
The combination of heat and stagnant air is deadly, and the death toll on the East Coast this week is now put at 8. The National Institutes of Health says older people are most vulnerable.
We expect this summer that over 1,000 people will die in this country from heat-related illness, and most of those people, over half of them, 80%, will be over age 65.
It was 105 in Newark, New Jersey, 92 in Huntington, West Virginia, 105 in Portsmouth, Virginia. Miami at 90, cooler than Washington at 100. This is a reenactment of a Civil War battle today at Leesburg, Virginia. Too much heat can be as dangerous as gunfire. Overexertion is a primary cause of heat-related illness and death.
You feeling better than you were when you came in?
The poor and homeless are easy victims for the killer heat. The District of Columbia has opened a very modest cooling center for people who have no homes, nothing to drink, and no refuge from the heat. Medical students have volunteered to look at people who are in difficulty. Too much sun, not enough fluid. And there are homeless too proud to come in from the heat.
The cooling centers are a nice idea on paper, but, you know, when you got people that stay a mile, 2 miles, 20 blocks, 30 blocks away, it's not worth walking there and passing out or whatever, because some of these people can't make it.
In Philadelphia, the city has opened cooling centers for the elderly who generally have a hard time coping with this heat. And the end is not in sight, certainly not at Veterans Stadium or anywhere else on the East Coast. Tom Pettit, NBC News, Washington.
The heat was also turned up today in the ongoing argument over abortion. Those who oppose it held protests in 7 cities. Those who support the right to choose held their ground. The protests are scheduled to last 10 days. Here's Jim Cummins.
Sally McNeil is a veteran of the abortion wars. This is her 3rd Operation Rescue. She drove from Shreveport, Louisiana to Dallas.
I have to admit, I am scared, okay? Of every one of these rescues, I have been petrified.
She's been arrested several times before, but this first day in Dallas, she managed to avoid arrest. The protests outside abortion clinics were peaceful.
Leave the property, you will be arrested for criminal trespass.
The protesters obeyed the police.
It's closed down!
But the mood was more hostile at some of the 6 other cities targeted by anti-abortion forces. In Jackson, Mississippi, the 2 sides went toe-to-toe. At least 5 people were arrested for trying to block the entrance to a clinic.
It's enough cause for me to get arrested. I'd go to jail for save a child.
In Philadelphia, protesters crowded between 2 abortion clinics on 1 block.
Shame! 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 Shame!
They were inspired by Operation Rescue leader Randall Terry.
We are the resistance. We are going to take over our dead bodies where this country going to hell.
That's not religion at all. That's terrorism. And it's using the name of God in terrorism, and that's blasphemy.
In San Jose, California, 17 arrests outside the home of a doctor who performs abortions. In Cleveland, only 1 arrest. In Florida, the demonstrations were peaceful. The same outside Minneapolis and here in Dallas. So far, Operation Rescue has seemed less confrontational than protest campaigns the past 2 summers in Baton Rouge and Wichita. Probably 2 reasons for that. The anti-abortion forces are not concentrated in one place, and in many places, abortion rights supporters have stayed away. Jim Cummins, NBC News, Dallas.
As we cover our world this Saturday, we'll report next on President Clinton's day in South Korea. Also on Focus this evening, Islam in the United States, the fastest growing religion in the country. We'll find out why.
Somehow, someone's trying to railroad cereal lovers like you and me into thinking wholesome can't taste special. Well, here's your ticket. Oatmeal Crisp. Now, see, they take brown sugar, then they bake it into these crispy flakes, fruits, and nuts. Now, that's a lightly sweet taste that'll rattle your caboose. Hey, the taste train's leaving the station, so if you want to get on it, you try Oatmeal Crisp with raisins, almonds, or apples. That's brown sugar baked, wholesome, darn tasty, too.
I'm about to cook a low-fat feast before your very eyes, using all-natural Pam cooking spray instead of oil or butter. With Pam, nothing comes between you and the taste of your food. No funny aftertaste to cover up the flavors. And it's the only leading spray that's 100% natural. You cut down on fat and cholesterol, not on taste. With Pam, nothing comes between you and the taste of your food.
President Clinton flew from Japan to South Korea today. In Tokyo, of course, the summit was about trade and economic growth. But in South Korea, topic 1 was something that may not seem to be a threat anymore, but is nuclear weapons. North Korea is believed to be developing them secretly, and today the president told it to stop. Here's Andrea Mitchell.
Bill Clinton arrived in Seoul to reaffirm America's commitment to South Korea's defense and issue a blunt warning to North Korea, suspected of developing nuclear weapons. In a speech to South Korea's National Assembly, Clinton said North Korea was developing and testing a more powerful missile with a range long enough to threaten Japan.
We cannot let the expanding threat of these deadly weapons replace the Cold War nightmare of nuclear annihilation. And today that possibility is too real.
Clinton and South Korea's first civilian elected president, Kim Young-sam, discussed North Korea's refusal to permit international inspection of 2 possible weapons plants and its threat to withdraw from the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty.
We agreed to consult closely on our joint efforts to achieve a full resolution of this issue, and we are resolute to take additional steps if they are required.
Negotiations with North Korea are to resume next week. If they don't produce results,
then the international community will inevitably have to come up with appropriate countermeasures to deal with the issue.
American officials said the likely action would be economic sanctions, not a preemptive military strike. Clinton reassured South Korea that he will not withdraw any American troops stationed here, despite defense cuts elsewhere.
Our troops will stay here as long as the Korean people want and need us here.
Not everyone was thrilled to see the American president. In Seoul, 1,000 farmers marched against U.S. efforts to open South Korean rice markets to imports. And in Gwangju, riot police dispersed 700 students demonstrating against the U.S. military presence. To dramatize his commitment to South Korea, Clinton will visit the DMZ tomorrow and address American troops. The visit might also help improve his own standing with the military. Andrea Mitchell, NBC News, with the president in Seoul.
Russia used to be seen as a major nuclear threat, but times changed. Today, President Clinton said the U.S., Russia are now, quote, much more alike than ever before. Clinton had breakfast with Russian President Boris Yeltsin on the final day of the Tokyo summit. Clinton said they now have a partnership and a friendship that is strengthening day by day. Still, differences exist. Yeltsin is unhappy with continued Western trade restrictions. Washington is concerned about Russian sales of missile technology to India and other countries. Turning to Iraq and the latest standoff over United Nations weapons inspections there, the administration says the stalemate is serious and could lead to further action against Iraq. In Baghdad today, UN inspectors arrived with a mandate to seal equipment at 2 missile testing sites. Iraq has refused to let the UN install surveillance cameras at the test sites, and the UN wants to make sure there are no tests until the camera issue is finally resolved. The United Nations is also monitoring the situation in Haiti. Agreement has been reached to restore democracy there and return exiled President Jean-Bertrand Aristide to power by the end of October. Today, UN mediators announced the next phase in the attempt at a peaceful transition, which will begin on Wednesday in New York City. Representatives from Haiti's 3 key political factions will meet with Aristide to discuss who should serve as prime minister until Aristide returns to Haiti. And here is a story you may well remember. It's about 2 girls who were left home alone by their parents while they went on vacation in Mexico late last year. The parents, Sharon and David Chu, were arrested when they returned to Chicago. They pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor charge, and they were sentenced to probation and community service. The Chu's children are 4 and 10, and today it was disclosed that the parents have given the girls up for adoption.
If you're concerned about regularity, these are the facts. When asked, 9 out of 10 doctors agree they would recommend this, a high-fiber diet, and Kellogg's All Bran. So they may not have to recommend this. Finally, some advice from doctors you can actually enjoy. A high-fiber diet and Kellogg's All Bran, doctor recommended for drug-free regularity.
This is your life. This is your world. This is your chance. You gotta be there now.
Since Sprint is the only global phone company that offers everything, local, long distance, and cellular, it means with Sprint, no matter where you go, there you are.
Make me feel so young.
New Promise Ultra, the first fat-free margarine, just 5 calories a serving.
You make me feel so young.
New fat-free Promise Ultra. Get heart smart.
Orchard Crisps. Where are my Harvest Crisps?
Relax, Reed. Crisps
still here. Orchard crisps are new.
With whole grains and the taste of real fruit baked in. Apple cinnamon.
Banana walnut.
And low fat. I'm speechless.
For once.
I love them.
Dino DNA. Just because they cloned them in the movie doesn't mean they could do it in real life. Or does it? Find out Sunday on Today.
On Focus this evening, a religion growing rapidly in our society. Islam, the fastest growing religion in the United States. The growth is being pushed mainly by increased immigration from the Islamic world. In fact, by the year 2000, it's estimated there will be more Muslims in this country than Jews. They are becoming a familiar sight, mosques in America. In Dearborn, Michigan, the faithful gather for Friday prayers. And the same call to prayer is answered in Southern California and on New York's fashionable Upper East Side and in storefront mosques in poor neighborhoods. More than 1,000 mosques across the country. It is an old story of immigrants arriving and changing the face of cities and suburbs. It's not known precisely how many Muslims are living in the United States today. The best estimate is 5 to 6 million. And what may be surprising is that relatively few of them are Arabs from the Middle East. Most Muslims in this country are coming from other Islamic regions of the world, and even here in the United States. According to the American Muslim Council, 12% of Muslims in the United States come from the Arab world. Many more come from South and Southeast Asia, others from Africa. Dr. Saeed came in the 1960s from India, earned his PhD, and became an American citizen.
In many Muslim countries, Muslims themselves have been persecuted. They are persecuted by their own dictators, by their own authoritarian regimes. So here they are, they have freedom of religion, they have freedom of thought, they can write, they can research, they can think in a free environment.
Freedom is also what attracted Sheikh Abdul Omar Rahman to this country. The arrests of some of his followers on terrorist charges have provoked anti-Muslim sentiment in this country. That concerns Muslim leaders who have made the United States their home. Dr. Muhammad Salam Agwa is the Imam and director of New York City's Islamic Cultural Center.
If they mean to attack Islam, or to attack Islam on the name of those people, of course, they are totally wrong. And this, of course, this is not fair, and this is against objectivity.
Perhaps the greatest impact of Islam in the United States is among blacks. An estimated 40% of the Muslims in this country are African Americans. Some black Muslim leaders have preached racial division, but many converts have used the discipline of Islam as a moral guide to keeping families together and communities intact.
Black or white, there is no racial discrimination in Islam. We are all brothers and sisters in Islam.
Still, it is the wave of immigration which is rapidly increasing the Muslim population in the country. In the past, it was usually professionals, doctors, and business people who came to the United States. Now, Muslims of all backgrounds are coming. Muslims don't seem to have a political voice, political weight in the United States yet. Why?
True. Several reasons. One, the numbers were very small and we were more involved in consolidating our community. But slowly and gradually we are now becoming conscious how important it is for us to reach out and tell them that we are here and these are our priorities.
One reason it is hard for Muslims to develop a unified voice here is the wide variety of countries and cultures they come from. But as their numbers grow, their voices will be heard, and not just in the call to prayer. And we'll have more news as we continue.
Flowers, check, balloons, real set. Okay, let's go.
All across America, we've surprised people just like you.
Oh, no.
Is this a joke or what? People have heard about us,
No, man, I see this on TV.
but sure don't expect us to knock on their door.
On TV, yes, but I never thought it would have happened to us.
We're the Prize Patrol from Publishers Clearinghouse, and we could make you a millionaire next month.
Excuse me, do you make these delicious fat-free snack-roll double scoop cookies?
Why, yes, I do.
You want to tell us why we can't find them in the stores anymore?
What is this?
You got some explaining to do, Cookie Man.
Devil's Food cookies are on the way. Meanwhile, keep enjoying the other Snackwells.
For as long as anyone can remember,
The Roadmaster name has graced only automobiles of great strength and security. Buick Roadmaster for 1993 is no exception. Consider, for example, the protection of Roadmaster's full perimeter frame. Its V8 power, anti-lock brakes, and driver airbag. Buick Roadmaster, perhaps the world's best value in a traditional luxury car.
Talking now with Margot, who says that she will not freeze with Gladlock zipper bags.
No, I like my zipper bags.
Well, we sent a remote crew out to your house, Margot, where your husband, Jerry, is about to replace the new throw pillows on your lovely sofa with either your bag full of chili or the Gladlock bag full of chili. Of course, only Gladlock has the yellow and blue make green seal, so you know it's closed. Your bag doesn't have a green seal.
Use the Gladlock,
I can't
Jerry.
hear you.
The Gladlock.
There's something wrong. I can't hear what she's saying.
Use the Gladlock.
Oh, wait, be careful. I only hear...
When it really counts, only Gladlock has the yellow and blue make green seal.
I love to grill. You gotta get those coals so they're white hot so everything sizzles.
Then you know you're cooking.
But wait. You need the secret ingredient.
A1.
A1. It's how grilling is done.
Time now to look at some of the stories in the news this past week. In the Middle East, a major obstacle in peace talks is the issue of East Jerusalem. Arabs say it belongs to them. Israelis say it belongs to them. And this week they said the number of Jews living in East Jerusalem for the first time exceeds the number of Arabs, a point Israel no doubt will make at the negotiating table. Be careful with your car story 1. In London, Police Commissioner Paul Condon has been waging a campaign against car theft. On Tuesday, he left his unmarked Jaguar parked on the street. When he returned, he found a thief had broken in and stolen his car phone. Be careful with your car story number 2. In Fremont, California, police chased a drunken driver in a late-night chase. The driver ran 15 red lights, sideswiped several cars, then slammed into the side of a building. Michael Dorsey ended up in the building. It was the local jail. And this, too, happened this week. At the Economic Summit, limited success. Agreements were reached that could expand world trade and could reduce the U.S. trade deficit with Japan. But neither is a done deal yet. 3 ships carrying illegal Chinese immigrants were stopped by the Coast Guard off the West Coast. 4 more Chinese ships in the Pacific are headed this way. As Sheikh Omar Abdul Rahman fights to stay in this country, 7 of his followers were executed in Egypt for killing tourists and trying to overthrow the government. It was the toughest action yet by President Mubarak against the fundamentalists. The mystery virus, which has taken lives in the Southwest, may have infected up to 16 people in Texas. The Center for Disease Control hopes to isolate the virus this coming week. And, of course, it was Powerball week. For one person, the largest lottery winning in history in this country, $111 million. Well, to be precise, $111,240,463.11. Who won it all? Owen May tells us.
He's the talk of the town, every town. His name is Leslie Robbins. His fiancée, a nurse, urged him to buy the ticket. He's been in hiding, but he came forward today, sort of. In a telephone interview from an undisclosed location, Robbins told the Lakeland, Florida Ledger that he and his fiancée were more scared and intimidated than elated at first, and that he was worried that people might think them rude for not coming forward. The winning ticket was purchased at this store in Fond du Lac. He's Dave, the store manager, a very popular guy these days. Robbins teaches English here at Sabish Junior High. When he's not in the classroom, you'll find him courtside, coaching girls basketball. An all-around swell guy from a student point of view.
He's a really nice teacher, probably one of my favorite teachers.
She wonders whether Mr. Robbins will keep his teaching job, a job that pays about $30,000 a year. Robbins will make twice that much now, every week, for the next 20 years. He lives in this $400 a month apartment complex. This neighbor and weekend golf buddy hasn't seen him since Wednesday, but when he does...
Oh, I congratulate him. Really.
Probably going to lose a neighbor, you know that.
I suppose.
Psychiatrist Bruce Axelrod says instant wealth and celebrity status can cause problems.
I think the thing that's most important is to see money as a tool and to really help them, first of all, get very good counsel.
It appears the city of Fond du Lac will share in the wealth. Leslie Robbins says he and his fiancée will not live lavishly. They intend to help the school where he's been teaching and the hospital where she's been working. They may, he admits, do some traveling. Owen May for NBC News, Fond du Lac, Wisconsin.
And if you're trying to add it all up, Leslie Robbins will be receiving $3.5 million a year after taxes. And I'll be back with some final thoughts.
Oh, guys, my commercial. Listen. Wheat Thins from Nabisco. So much wheat, so smart to eat. Intelligent crackers. Wheat Thins pack a ton of hearty taste into a little snack that's smart to eat. See, that's smart. With a big crunch baked through it. Sounds very snackable.
And you are deliciously correct, oh maternal one.
Wheat Thins, the smart little snack that's big on taste.
You couldn't have said it better yourself. Zap!
I really didn't want my husband to color his gray hair.
But then I discovered this, the hair coloring called Just for Men.
And now he looks better than ever.
Simply apply Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, rinse. Just for Men blends away the gray for a totally natural look. No wonder 8 out of 10 women prefer the Just for Men look to the gray look.
It's like you took off 10 years.
And in just 5 minutes.
Just for Men. She'll love the way you look.
I thought it was dynamite.
Arm & Hammer Dental Care. What's it like the first time?
Such a clean, healthy feeling, like the dentist just cleaned my teeth. And that's a wonderful feeling.
That fresh from the dentist feeling, it's because Arm & Hammer has twice as much baking soda. Maybe that's why twice as many dentists recommend Arm & Hammer than any other baking soda toothpaste.
When I come out of the dentist office, my teeth feel as perfect as they're going to be. And that's the feeling I get every time I brush.
Arm & Hammer Dental Care, with twice the baking soda for that fresh from the dentist feeling of clean.
Day after day, you make those glasses of thick Metamucil disappear. Why not make them all disappear with FiberCon? Doctor-recommended FiberCon gives you the same fiber regularity in tablets.
Easy to swallow tablets.
Get doctor-recommended FiberCon.
Sunday, the disaster in America's heartland. What's being done to help? Find out about that and more when Vice President Gore joins Tim Russert on Meet the Press.
Finally this evening, 2%. That doesn't seem like a large number until you read a United Nations report this week which estimates that 2% of the people in this world have left their home countries to seek a better life somewhere else. That's more than 100 million people, and the wave of worldwide migration is growing. We've seen examples this evening. Immigrants from Muslim countries, ships packed with impoverished Chinese who have mortgaged much of their lives to get into this country. What is a country to do? Well, Japan and Britain have long been strict on accepting immigrants. Now Germany is closing its doors. So is France, where the new government's goal is zero immigration. There used to be an iron curtain to keep people in communist Eastern Europe. Now a new curtain is being erected to keep unwanted immigrants out of Western Europe. How's that for irony? Of course, compared to other countries, the United States has kept its door open to immigrants, and we have benefited richly because of it. Still, it's now clear that a debate is coming over how wide that door should be left open in a weak economy. The UN report this week warned that world migration could become the next, quote, human crisis of our time for those on the move and those who take them in. And that's our look at our world this day. I'm Garrick Utley. Good night for NBC News.
Irma Chacon Gonzalez.
Lori was dying of breast cancer, but her
Butter, fish, and pond supply in Aloha. And these exclusive dealerships.